I'm Paula Flowe, Executive Director of The Hitting Stops Here, a campaign for teaching kindness and respect in schools everywhere. This year on September 22nd, 2011, New York Representative Carolyn McCarthy introduced a federal bill for banning all USA school corporal punishment. And we need your help. This bill is H.R. 3027, and it must reach the House floor by December 8th, 2011. Last year, this same wonderful woman introduced H.R. 5628, had the same title, Ending School Corporal Punishment Act, but the bill died, resulting in more than 250,000 American school children having to face sanctioned and lawless assault and battery throughout this past school year. And we're hoping that these same people that they pledge their allegiance to will co-sponsor H.R. 3027 so that our American school children from preschool right on through senior year in high school can have protective and due process laws in place to protect them from sanctioned, widespread, and rampant school abuse. The link that we would like for you to take a look at is nospank.net/support HR 3027.pdf. And there is the lovely Representative Carolyn McCarthy with her beautiful smile. And if you read along, you'll find the bill summary status and who has signed and who has not signed. We have John Klein, chairman, who has not signed, George Miller, who has not signed, their addresses for you to send letters, and their phone numbers, fax machine. We also have the names of all of the Education Committee members and their status, whether they live in a paddling state or not, their contact information. 39 members and only 3 to date have signed. The bill was introduced September 22nd once again. Today is November 6th. And still only 3 signatures. Take a look at this. This is Homeland Security. Non-supporters, all of them. This is the Judiciary Committee. 1 has signed out of the entire committee, and that is Representative Robert Scott, and we want to thank him for that. We also have the Science Committee, not 1 supporter. Abuse supports. We have the Intelligence News Committee. Reports. Deaf girl suffers alleged abuse at hands of teacher. Inhumane treatment for falling ill. Teacher thrashes student. Anderson Cooper special news report. Girl spanked to death in the name of God. We have more articles regarding the condition of child abuse in America in general. Here's one article here entitled The Widespread Problem of Abusing American Children. Here's another one. Why is child abuse so much more pervasive in the U.S.? Here's one entitled Forced Medication, Lawless USA School Corporal Punishment. This one in particular, I want to invite you to look at. Statistics on American children worthy of attention. These articles will give you an idea of what's going on and what will continue to go on if we fail to get H.R. 3027 to the House floor, off to the Senate, and on to our Nobel Peace Prize winning President, Barack Obama. And take a look over here, learn more. Other links for you to just study this. Some people are just finding out that teachers are allowed to beat school children in the United States of America. 19 states still allow this sample practice. Messages. If you take a look right here, this is a sample message you can copy and paste right inside of the conveniently already posted email addresses, even to Ron Paul. Presidential hopeful Ron Paul has not signed this bill, and he would be influencing the entire U.S. House and also America to be in favor of anything that would bring about more safety and more peace, particularly to children at the hands of adults who are abusing their authority. So here we have all of the email addresses in bulk. You could take the whole thing, copy and paste. If you want to send a message to all of the education committee members, here it is. They're all listed here. Add the sample message, and you can get on to the rest of your day. We also have one of our board members of Parents and Teachers Against Violence in Education, Dr. Dina Pollard-Sachs, and she actually speaks in a 3-minute video that we have here on U.S. school corporal punishment and the government. We hope you'll click on that and take a look. And then we have a message to presidential hopeful Ron Paul. Please view our recent YouTube entitled, "Will Ron Paul Sign H.R. 3027 for Having Safe USA Schools?" This is their flag. This is what goes on in the school a lot. In their Texas school system, this is a regular scene. Teacher with paddle in hand, ready to beat students on their buttocks for infractions that can be handled simply by talking. And good role modeling on solving problems peacefully. And as you can see, the pink color here, that is where most of the school beatings are taking place, although not limited here. But the same slave states, same lynching states, same highest capital punishment states, all of that right here. Right where Congressman Ron Paul, he's from Texas. This is the state that has the largest number of beatings, and he has not signed H.R. 3027 to protect the children in his state. Here's another video we'd like you to look at. It's about 1 minute long. I wish they would stop hitting me. And we have other articles as well. And so we want to invite you to read those. Again, that is nospank.net/legalkidcrimes.pdf. And it closes out with how to help. We really need Americans to take a look at that so that we can protect children and get to see that shiny smile that they have naturally when they're protected and taken care of, such as these children that you see on the screen. That's the way all children should look when they go to school. Happy, safe, and confident. We'd like to invite you also to read our recent memos and letters requesting conferences with all of the Education and Workforce Committee members in Washington, D.C. The hitting stops here will be flying into Washington, D.C. to lobby for this bill. And if you go to www.nospank.net/rep.sendmemos.pdf, you can read the letters that we have already forwarded to these offices in the month of October. And this one in particular is addressed to Congressman Ron Paul. And some people might say, well, why would you have Ron Paul? He's in foreign affairs and he's not on the Education and Workforce Committee. Why are you writing him? Why do you want to see Ron Paul? Well, because Ron Paul is a presidential hopeful. Because Ron Paul lives in the state where most school beatings are taking place. Because Ron Paul says that he cares about America. And if he actually cares about America, then he cares about America's future, its children. And they're relying on people who have power, such as himself. And he is a man who says that he stands on the side of the U.S. Constitution. Well, there's a 14th Amendment right that all American school children who are being targeted for assault and battery, that amendment is being ignored. It is being denied American school children, particularly those who are black and brown, poor whites, children having autism, children who have a variety of disadvantages, children who
that legislation needed to be passed, and that presidents needed to be pressured into action.
Slavery days are over. In school beating. Slavery days are over. In school beating. Slavery days are over. In school beating.
They knew that the stain of slavery and the sin of segregation had to be lifted in the courtroom and in the legislature and in the hearts and minds of Americans. They also knew that here in America, change would have to come from the people.
The healing stops here. The healing stops here.
It would come from people protesting lynchings, rallying against violence.
Because the child rebelled and he struck a teacher. And every teacher got 4 or 5 licks on this child. In the 2nd or 3rd grade. That's uncalled for.
Wait, what grade was this child?
2nd or 3rd.
Was he a black boy?
An African-American child is roughly 5 times as likely as a white child to see the inside of a prison.
Do you mind demonstrating with your mom, like exactly where on your neck did he put his hands? He put his hands on you like that. Oh my God. Okay. So
The thing we need to do is to make real the words of the NAACP Charter and eradicate prejudice, bigotry, and discrimination among citizens of the United States.
But these are the kids being beaten in schools in the South Delta, a low-income section of Mississippi.
In the 21st century, when so many jobs will require a bachelor's degree or more, when countries that out-educate us today will out-compete us tomorrow, a world-class education is a prerequisite for success. There's no 2 ways about it. It's because there is no stronger weapon against inequality and no better path to opportunity than an education that can unlock a child's God-given potential.
You paddled last year in 8th grade. A lot, or a little bit.
African-American students are lagging behind white classmates in reading and math. An achievement gap that is growing in states that once led the way in the civil rights movement.
While you were taking a test and said, get up, took you in the hall, struck you with a paddle 5 times, and then he said, go on back in and take your test. Did you know why he did that? No, ma'am.
Over half of all African-American students are dropping out of school.
Nobody wants to go into a place where you're going to get beat. You go there today, you're going to get beat. I'm not going. You know, so I'm not going into anywhere. I'm not staying in a marriage where I'm going to get beat. I'm not going to go to a school where I'm going to get beat. I want to be in a pleasant environment, and that's what schools should be. It should be the happiest place you go if you're going to spend 7 hours a day without threat.
The state of our schools is not an African-American problem. It is an American problem. Because if black and brown children cannot compete, then America cannot compete.
I would like stop hating me.
Yeah.